Welcome to the intro lesson for the Su25A. The Su25A Grach, NATO codename Frogfoot, is a single-seat, twin-engine ground attack aircraft designed to support ground troops. Maiden flight was made on 22nd Feb 75, and production started in Tbilisi in the Soviet Republic of Georgia in 1978. A distinct feature, or rather lack of it, is the very rudimentary HUD. In contrast to most other Merc aircraft, the Su25A lacks any flight information being displayed in the HUD. The Frogfoot HUD is closer to a World War II fighter gun sight than a modern head-up display. In this lesson, we'll do a cockpit tour to make you familiar with the most crucial instruments to fly, navigate and fight in the Frogfoot. Let's start by getting some power. Press right shift L, that's right shift L, and cockpit lights by pressing L. Okay, now close the canopy, left control C, that's left control C, and press the space bar to continue. Let's start at the business end with the ASP-17 gun sight. First, press 7 to go to air-to-ground mode, then press C to select the cannon. The gun sight symbology is quite simple. A crosshair aiming pipper appears in the centre. An arc drawn clockwise from the top of the crosshairs indicates the range to the point in the crosshairs as measured by the Clion PS, laser rangefinder, target designator, carried in the nose of the Su-25. Three lamps at the bottom of the gun sight mounting provide additional indications. The green lamp, lower left, indicates the laser is on. Orange lamp, lower right, indicates that weapon launch or release or fire is authorized. And red lamp, lower left, below the laser green, indicates the aircraft has approached the minimum allowable employment range for that selected weapon, and the attack line should be broken off for another pass. We'll talk more about the APS-17 gun sight in one of the weapon training missions. Now switch the laser on by pressing right shift and O. That's right shift and O. You get a green light bottom left hand corner, and the range counter on the sight now has a fat bar showing the min and max range for the selected weapon, in this case the 30mm cannons. Also, you may need to adjust the sight with different weapons, and you can do this by winding it down, press right Alt and H, and back up, pressing right shift and H. So just have a go at that. That's down, right Alt H, and back up, right shift H. When you're ready, press the space bar to continue. Okay, let's rearm and refuel. It's useful to know how to do this. Press left Alt and hyphen, that's hyphen, usually co-located with the @ key. This brings up the rearm panel. There are two pick lists. Select loadout and select livery. Let's do loadout. Choose any bomb for stations 5 and 6, any air-to-surface missile or missile for 4 and 7, any rocket pod for 3 and 8, and the R60 A8 aphid air-to-air missile on 1 and 10. You can leave turn 9 blank. Note, as you do this, the all-up weight changes as you add the weapons. Also note, you can change the preset amounts of chaff and flare, as well as the amount of gun ammo and the fuel load. The crew chief and his men will acknowledge your request when you press OK, and it takes about 40 seconds to complete. It's interesting to watch this process from outside by pressing F2, and press F1 then to return to the cockpit once you get a rearm complete message. Note also on the rearm menu you can instantly change the aircraft skin or camouflage pattern by pressing select livery from the bottom right hand corner menu. Okay, when all done, press the space bar to continue.
Перезарядка по плану.
Принял. Командир, оружие подвешено.
Switch off the laser, right shift to no, and press C to deselect the cannons. This automatically puts you into air-to-ground mode. C will cycle you between cannons and air-to-ground mode. Okay, now look down at the weapons panel, bottom left. The weapons panel is located beneath the throttle handle on the left side of the cockpit instrument panel. The type, quantity, and readiness of the currently selected weapon and remaining gun ammo is indicated. The yellow lamps in the upper row indicate weapon availability and their presence on hardpoint stations. When ordnance is launched or released, the corresponding yellow lamp goes dark. Green lamps in the lower row indicate currently selected weapons that are ready for launch or release. The currently selected weapon type is indicated on the upper right of the panel. Press D to cycle through weapons and stations. Note the changing indicator on the right side. The Russian Cyrillic B for bombs, YP for missiles, HPC for rockets. Note also the HUD as you keep pressing D. The sight position changes for each weapon, and you get a red no-drop light below the laser light. If you press C, this will also then show BNY in Cyrillic for the built-in 30mm cannon. Remember, C cycles between cannon and air-to-ground modes. The remaining cannon rounds are indicated in the lower right figure of the panel, K for full, then 3/4, half, a quarter for those amounts. Press the spacebar to continue. Okay, we'll now do our clockwise tour. So, located lower left part of the front dash is the landing gear control lever. Pressing G, this lever moves down or up. By doing so, it will raise and lower the landing gear. Press the spacebar to continue. Right of the landing gear control lever is the so-called configuration panel. This panel shows you the position of the main gear, the landing flaps and the air brakes. Additionally, a warning light in the middle of the instruments lights up if something is wrong with one of the three mentioned systems. Press the spacebar to continue. In the upper left corner of the front dash, you will find the angle of attack AOA indicator and accelerometer or G meter. This instrument displays the current angle of attack and G load. The left part of the indicator shows the AOA in degrees, whilst the G load is shown on the right part. Warning markings on both sides show you the no-go zones for the Su25. Press the spacebar to continue. The IAS-TAES gauge indicates the aircraft's true airspeed, TAES, on the inside of the gauge, and the indicated airspeed, IAS, on the outer portion of the gauge. The speed scale ranges from 0 to 1100 km per hour. Press the spacebar to continue. The barometric pressure indicator shows the barometric flight altitude in meters. The small dial at the bottom of the indicator shows the QNE altitude. You can adjust this with right shift and minus, and right shift and equals. Press the spacebar to continue. The attitude direction indicator, or ADI, shows the current angles of pitch and aircraft roll. In the lower part of the indicator is a slip indicator. Changing the rudder position eliminates slipping, so try to have the indicator in the central position. On the front portion of the indicator are the required bank and pitch indicators to reach the next waypoint. When both bars are in the central position, the aircraft is following the correct course. During landings, the W-shaped glide slope deviation indicator provides instrument landing system, or ILS, direction. We'll take a closer look at this instrument in the navigation training lesson. Press the spacebar to continue. The vertical velocity indicator, or VVI, measures the aircraft's vertical speed, i.e. rate of climb or sink. The slip indicator backs up the slip indicator on the ADI. The turn indicator shows the turn direction, though the rate of turn is only approximate. This helps you to see if your Su25 is climbing or diving. Extremely important in poor visibility. Needle above 0 is climbing, needle below 0 is descending. The scale is in meters per second. Press the spacebar to continue. The Mach meter shows your speed in Mach. The red dot shows the maximum speed allowed. Press the spacebar to continue. The SPO15 Berioza radar warning receiver, or RWR, display indicates any threat radars illuminating or painting your aircraft. Information is presented as symbols representing the type and direction of the threat. 6 illuminated symbols at the bottom of the display notify the pilot of the threat radar type. The system indicates both enemy and friendly radars. Detailed information on the RWR is provided in the flight manual. Press the spacebar to continue. The warning lights panel incorporates all warning and advisory lights. Press the spacebar to continue. The fuel quality indicator shows the fuel remaining in all tanks, P. Fuel quality T shows the fuel remaining in feeder tanks in kilograms. If external fuel tanks are carried, a warning light indicates that they are nearing empty. Press the spacebar to continue. These are the Interstage turbine temperature indicators. The temperature shown is in degrees Celsius. Press the spacebar to continue. The tachometer is intended for measuring rotor RPM of both engines. Measuring is indexed in percent for maximum rotor RPM. Press the spacebar to continue. This is the clock. Please see input options to bind keys if you want to use these features of the clock. Press the spacebar to continue. The horizontal situation indicator, HSI, provides a top-down view of the aircraft in relation to the intended course. The compass rotates, so the current heading is always shown at the top. The programmed course arrow shows the required heading to reach your route leg, and the next waypoint pointer indicates the direction to your selected waypoint. The ILS localizer and glide slope bars are in the center. We will take a closer look at this instrument in the landing training mission. Press the spacebar to continue. The radar altimeter, or RADALT, indicates altitude above the ground from 0 to 1500 meters. Press the spacebar to continue. The distance to waypoint counter shows you the distance to the next waypoint in kilometers. Press the spacebar to continue. The RSBN short-range navigation panel is used to select navigation modes. In reality, the aircraft can store up to 4 airfield points and 3 steering points. The system's functionality in the simulation is slightly simplified. Selection between route, return, landing, and no task modes is made by cycling the 1 key. We'll talk more about the RSBN navigation panel in the nav training lesson. Press the spacebar to continue. That includes our cockpit tour to the intro of the Su25A Frogfoot. Hope you enjoy flying it as much as we have. All the best and happy hunting.